For us to live as a church, to meet our full potential and to follow what God really has entailed for us to do, we need to put children and youth first. We need to teach them about God's love, and we need to teach them when they are children.
And sometimes when we're dealing with the hope that's in children, we have to understand it's our responsibility, because a child, a youth, they're kind of counting on us. We stand on the shoulders of those who did this for us, and now here we are with broad shoulders, being called of God to do something pretty significant.
The building campaign will allow opportunities for us to reach students where they are. It'll give the kids a reason to invite their friends to come to church, and it'll give them a space that they can call their own, where they can be part of a community.
This building project would help Living Waters by giving us a permanent worship space. Right now, we are setting up and breaking down every week. We have so many people here that volunteer in Living Waters. And that's the great thing about serving Living Waters. It's not just one age group. Whether they're 5 years old or 85 years old, we have people that help stack chairs, move the curtains, decorate the stage, undecorate the stage. We will still need to move chairs because this is a community room, and we will still use it for Wednesday night supper, and that's great. But what we won't have to do is add pipe and drapes and cover the windows and move our soundboard.
10 and 20 years down the road, because of this step, the church will still be viable and vital. And what I see in churches that aren't viable or aren't as effective, but churches that somewhere along their journey, they stopped being faithful. They started saying, I don't know, and they were held back and stopped being faith-venturing people. And this congregation is just not wired like that.
I've learned that Methodist churches and people will do most anything if they understand why it's needed and what it's going to accomplish, and primarily what it's going to accomplish in terms of Christ's mission for the church.
The focus of the proposal for the building of the church is on children and youth, as it should be, of course, because that's the future of our church. However, we knew that we needed to try to meet the needs of all of the members of our congregation. This renovation will expand the Sunday school room area because it's extremely limited now for the adults. We also need to have an elevator to have access to those rooms that happen to be on the downstairs part of the church. We need to expand the restroom area. And fourth, we need a new bridal room.
I'm really looking forward to being downstairs in the youth hall with Jake and David.
The youth will have a coffee house and game rooms that will provide a warm atmosphere for students to grow in their relationship with Jesus. Personally, I'm excited for this because it does provide more classrooms so that we can be more intentional in small groups.
We could really serve many more children. We are a limited space here. Our classrooms, we're at capacity, so we really desperately need more rooms, more classrooms.
We're even going to have a new worship area for the kids.
We would absolutely love an indoor playroom. We have needed this for 15 or 20 years. Give our children a space to go, run out those wiggles on a rainy day.
We usually have to be calm, but me and Holden really prefer doing cartwheels and backflips and running around being a wild man.
Our current generation of kids are very up to date when it comes to technology, and the new building campaign will allow us to update our technology to be able to reach a generation in different ways than we have before.
It will become a reality to be able to use new technology, to use curriculum that we haven't been able to do yet, to expand into our worship space, to do kids worship in an appropriate way that's really going to reach kids today.
We have such amazingly talented musicians and singers who come together each Sunday, and to be able to transition from music to the message to the prayers for the community is just a hope that this building project will go through so that we can have all of that technology in place to just better serve and worship.
What what's going to happen through this campaign is this Gainesville First United Methodist Church is going to be known as a place that really reaches out and cares for families with youth and children.
So this is why we really need this new space, these new facilities, so that we can reach more and more children for God, so that they can grow up and become good Christian leaders.
You know, I go to bed thinking about all the things we can do because the facility, the space is here. Just being able to provide for it and watch these kids. You know, they're here for a purpose. We're here for a purpose.
This is extremely exciting because we're able to empower future leaders based on the ministry that we'll be able to do today.
Don't back away just because the times aren't as good as they've been.
I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when this happens. When we make this amazing change for our church and for our community, Living Waters will be even more of a blessing than it has been to my family.
That's how it's going to happen, and God will be glorified in it all. As we open up our hearts and our lives to that, we get to see the miracle of what God does through the generosity of His people. And isn't it wonderful that we get to do that on behalf of children and youth?
Just think about the possibilities that these new facilities would have for our church to reach more boys and girls for Jesus Christ. It's going to be amazing.
I've actually got kissed by puppets about 5 or 4 times, and it's not enjoyable. I like getting kissed by Elvis.
Ooh-wee! She's come to her senses.
Which is the dog?
Oh, I love the dog.
Yeah, she definitely has good taste. Well, I should have no problem.
But not Alice?
No, I don't like Alice.
Well,
she's a girl.
Wait, maybe you should have brushed your teeth. Wait. Well, what would you know about brushing teeth, you toothless wonder?